We'll talk about an exciting day for any four-wheel driver. Today we're fitting new suspension from Tough Dog to the 4x4 Australia Project Isuzu D-Max. We're going with a 40mm lift all round, just to handle the extra weight we're carrying, as well as give us a better ride off-road and more lift when we need it for off-road conditions. Once we arrived in the morning, Jason, the in-house technician from Tough Dog, showed us how to build a front strut and assembled it in front of us. The next step was to get the vehicle up on the hoist and put some stands underneath the rear axle so we could rip the old stuff out. Now before we get started on the installation, it's important to discuss what suspension package Tough Dog has recommended to us. By selecting the correct spring rate to suit the load you are carrying is a vital step to ensure a good ride and the ability to handle load both on and off-road. In the rear of our Isuzu MUX, we've selected a Tough Dog coil spring to suit a 0 to 300 kilo load. Now this works really well with the accessories we've got fitted, such as the single MSA drawer in the back of the MUX. The front end has been set up to suit a vehicle with no winch and a lightweight replacement bumper, which is exactly what we have fitted to the MUX. We've paired them up with a set of 41mm foam cell shock absorbers and front struts. There's also the option to select an adjustable shock absorber, and they really come into their own if you're going to be adding weight and taking weight out regularly. But for our needs, the foam cells, and from experience, work absolutely perfectly. Let's take a look at what goes into installing the suspension into our MUX now with the team from Tough Dog. The stock coil springs and shock absorbers out of the way, Jason got the top mount for the Tough Dog shock absorber installed, and we got ready to install the brand new Tough Dog coil springs. Isn't that rear suspension looking $1 million? I almost feel sorry for it. This is the nicest it's ever going to look, the way we use these vehicles off-road. Well, the rear Tough Dog suspension is all installed, and gee doesn't it look great, especially when we put these ROH wheels and Maxxis tyres on to really complete the package. It's starting to become a proper touring four-wheel drive now. Well, now's not the time to sit around and admire our handiwork. It's time to rip the front stock suspension out and get it ready for the new Tough Dog upgraded struts. Jason wasted no time here and set about disassembling the front suspension to install the new struts. Now interestingly, you don't need to drop the upper control arm on the Isuzu. It makes installation a lot easier. What you do need to do is remove the top nuts and the bottom bolt for the strut, as well as removing the tie rod and the sway bar. Well, it's really not hard to see the difference here, is it? Not only is the Tough Dog strut longer, providing more down travel, it's also physically larger, which means it has more oil inside to avoid fading over corrugations. With the driver's side all buttoned up, Jason moved over to the passenger side and installed the new complete Tough Dog strut. The installation was just a reversal of removing the original Isuzu gear, with the bottom bolt being installed, as well as the 3 nuts up the top, and putting back the steering and the sway bar. This is my favourite part of the installation, watching the vehicle come down off the hoist with the new suspension installed, so we can take measurements and get it ready for a proper wheel alignment, which the Tough Dog team can do in-house. Well, the moment you've all been waiting for, and here's the before shot, and here's the after, with the 40mm lift kit from Tough Dog installed. And we know we can now hit the tracks with confidence, because we've got good quality suspension under the MUX.